Good morning, residents, and happy Friday. In today's episode, we're going to start off with a message from Barbara Hooper regarding the Residents' Council and the new members there. Then we're going to hop on over to Nick. He's going to give us a parking reminder when it comes to parking in the front circle lot, what that means, as well as parking out throughout the neighborhood. Katie's going to give us some community life services updates for her department. And then we're going to meet with dietitians from our healthcare facility. Marissa and Paige are going to tell us how to make healthy choices when we're choosing items from our very own independent living menu. Thomas is going to give us a Middletons update on the construction that's happening there, and then he's going to go over how to use the new coffee machines. There's one already up near the pool table, and then there will be one in Middletons for use, as well as the loon's nest. So he'll give you a quick step-by-step tutorial on what to do, how to do it, and it'll get you a good cup of coffee every time. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy.
Happy Friday morning, folks. Several times over the last few weeks, I've been spoken to you about the Resident Council elections. I'd like to give you a little more information about that. 3 members of council will be vacating their seats. Carol McCoy has been serving on council for 2 terms, 4 years, and she is term limited, so she will not run again this year. The terms of Jean Bland and myself conclude, and both of us have chosen not to seek re-election. The Nominating Elections Committee has worked diligently to seek residents to run to fill the 3 vacant seats. They have presented 3 well-qualified candidates to fill the seats. Those nominees are Mays Barnett, Elizabeth Steck, and Mark Waters. The bylaws of the Residents' Council state that if the number of nominees is equal to the number of vacancies, no election is necessary. So these candidates will become members of the Residents' Council on November 10th, the date the annual meeting of the residents would, under normal circumstances, be held. However, because of restrictions on occupancy of Egret Hall due to the coronavirus, it is not likely that we will be able to hold this meeting. I'll be posting to the Residents' Council bulletin board pictures and brief statements from the nominees. That bulletin board is located between the sales office and the bird lobby. This information will also be in the October issue of the Cypress Log. I personally want to express appreciation to Mays, Elizabeth, and Mark for their willingness to serve on council, and I hope all of you will do that too. Have a good week, be careful, and stay well.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Cypress Village. Welcome back to another great episode of Coffee Chat. I get a lot of questions about parking, and recently I've gotten more and more, so I just wanted to clear some things up. A lot of times I get asked what constitutes the circle, what constitutes, the no overnight parking. And that would be anywhere here in this whole front lot, all right? We'll do a little pan for you. I'm seeing a lot of decals out here right now. So I know they're residents. And like I said, going forward, when we start opening up again, we're gonna get a lot more strict. So be on the lookout, be ready, because we are opening up fast and we'll hopefully get there soon. Everyone is allowed to park up on the second deck up there. That is all free and open parking. You also have the ability to rent your own parking spot that will be secured for you. We'll watch after it. You got the cameras on it underneath the parking garage for $45 a month. So that's another option. If you're a homeowner, the home parking is located in the underground parking garage all the way on the far hand side where it's nice and open. So another thing that we have a lot of problems with is people out in the neighborhood that park longer than their driveway blocking the sidewalk. This can't happen because we have a lot of people here with mobility issues on mobility scooters that can't go around your car over the grass out into the road and then back up on the sidewalk. So you have to make a plan here, whether it be park one car in the garage, park one car in the driveway, but we have to keep the sidewalks clear. That is huge. I get a ton of complaints about that, and I can totally empathize with the people complaining, because if I was in a safety scooter, I would not want to be doing that either. It's dangerous, you can tip over, and a lot of different things can happen. Another thing is the cul-de-sacs on east and west. If people park in there, emergency vehicles can't get through, garbage trucks can't get through. Anybody who needs to get through that area ultimately can't get through. So please do not store any cars. Tell your caregivers, tell your guests that they have to be parking on either the street or they have to be parking in your driveway. Now, you can't leave your car overnight on the street either. We have a lot of problems with that. It's all in the indentures. You can't park on the street, leave it there overnight. You're gonna get ticketed. We're gonna record it. If it keeps happening, then you're gonna get towed. The last thing I want to touch on is parking on the grass. And this is big because all the irrigation systems under the grass are very fragile. So when you're pulling your 3-ton truck up there on the grass and you start breaking irrigation lines, it's very, very expensive to fix. And we've spent thousands of dollars doing this. So going forward, the next time we see a car on the grass, we're going to document it. We're going to find out who it belongs to, and you're going to get a violation. And if you do damage anything, you're going to be charged for that damage. So I just wanted to make everybody aware, wanted to clear everything up. If there's anything I missed, I'll try to touch on it in the newsletter. But other than that, have a great day. I hope it's better than this one. And we'll see you then. Thank you.
Good morning, Cypress Village, and happy Friday. I hope you all really missed me on last week's episode of Coffee Chat. I am happy to be back this week, and I've got a ton of announcements and updates to give you all, so pay close attention. As you all should know by now, we distributed the October newsletters and calendars this month, as we have switched back to our monthly format. So with that being said, moving forward, we will also be switching back to distributing weekly resident programs updates. And you will get those to your box no later than, I would say, Saturday mornings, as they should be distributed each Friday evening. And what those will include are just a listing of any changes, updates, or cancellations for the upcoming week. So there won't be a full listing of all of the programs that we'll be providing the following week, but only listing the changes, updates, and cancellations. So you'll want to keep an eye out for that and make any applicable changes to your calendar as needed or as listed. And as always, if you have any questions, you can give us a call and we can clarify some of those changes for you. So the update for next week will be coming out this evening, so keep an eye out for that this weekend. I also wanted to announce that beginning this month, the Community Life Services Department, Tiffany and I, will be hosting a monthly Community Life Services meeting. We don't really know what we're going to call it yet, but we're thinking Get the Scoop or something with Community Life Services. And it'll be on the fourth Monday of each month, beginning this month, at 10 o'clock in Egret Hall. And the meeting format will be pretty simple, pretty casual, but what we will be doing is discussing the programs that we have scheduled for the upcoming month, answering any questions you might have, taking any suggestions you might have, and just discussing the calendar, as we'll already have the draft and everything prepared at that time. I would like to encourage any interested new residents, especially, to consider attending this meeting. I think that it'll be really helpful, in addition to new resident orientation, to get new residents acclimated to the programs that we're offering and all of our restrictions, protocols, and procedures due to COVID. So that'll be a good way for new residents and even some existing residents to get some information directly from our department. The capacity for the meeting will be 20 people. It will also be first come, first serve seating. You don't have to sign up, just come by. If you're not able to get a seat, don't fret. What I plan to do is to take minutes at the meeting of any suggestions or questions that we were presented with and addressed. And then we will send out those minutes in the couple of days following that meeting to our Community Life Services email distribution list. So if you missed the meeting and you're curious as to what was discussed, you can review those minutes in your email. And with that being said, if you've not already signed up to receive emails from our department and you're interested in doing so, please let us know. We'd be happy to add you to that distribution list. It includes daily emails with the calendar for the day, the schedule for the day, as well as emails regarding last minute changes or cancellations and special updates, and will include the minutes of this monthly meeting moving forward. So again, if you're interested in being on that distribution list, you can email myself or Tiffany, or you can email residentprograms@cypressvillageretirement.com, and we will be happy to get you on that distribution list moving forward. My next update or reminder rather is regarding our capacity limits for the various areas in the community. I did the best I could to list some details regarding various common areas and program spaces in the October Community Life Services newsletter. So if you've not already reviewed that information in there, you're more than welcome to. But I just wanted to remind residents that even if it is not a staff-led program that you are attending, we are really relying on you all to have some accountability and take some ownership in ensuring that you and your neighbors and your friends are following the listed capacity limits, as well as any sanitation rules for the various areas throughout the community. So with that being said, one example I will give is the fitness center. We are still requiring signups at this time to use the fitness center. It's a small space, so it's important that we don't, overload that space with multiple residents. So the capacity at this time is 4. You must sign up. We are really relying on you to sanitize the machines before and after use, after you use them, to please sign in, just be respectful of the community and of your neighbors. And if we all work together and follow these rules, things will continue to improve and life will start returning back to normal. So that is my plea for this week. So please consider that the next time you attend an event. I also wanted to provide an update about movies. As you all know, in the October calendar, we listed movies only on Fridays and Sundays, and just in an effort to kind of get our calendar back to how it was beforehand. But that was met with lots of requests to return back to the daily movie schedule, which I'm actually quite happy to hear that you guys are enjoying the movies, and we are happy to coordinate those evening DVDs moving forward. So on your weekly update for next week and every week moving forward in October, we will list the movies that will play every evening at 7 p.m. on the channel 266. And I also want to give a quick shout out and a big thanks to resident Mike Booten, who is assisting us in ensuring that those movies play on time. He's been a huge help, as Tiffany and I have been a little spread thin these past few weeks. So that'll be a huge help, and we're excited to have those daily beginning next week. So keep an eye on the weekly update for what movies will be playing next week. I also have a quick announcement regarding the Navy birthday, which is coming up on October 13th. I believe that's a Tuesday. I neglected on accident to put the information in the newsletter, so I wanted to announce it now, as it's next week on the 13th at 2 o'clock. The Community Life Services Department, in partnership with the Veterans Committee, will host a table in the main lobby with some recognition items for our Navy veterans, their spouses, and widows or widowers of Navy veterans. And we will also be distributing little mini cupcakes to anyone who would like to stop by and say thanks to our Navy veterans. So if you're a Navy veteran, a spouse of a Navy veteran, or a widow or a widower of a Navy veteran, please stop by and grab a cupcake and some other items, some little goodies, and have an opportunity to say hello to some fellow veterans. Also, regarding the wine tasting, which was scheduled for the 13th on the newsletter and calendar that went out, that has been postponed to the following Monday, which is October 19th. We are still going to do 2 sessions at 2 and 4. So if you signed up for either of those sessions on the 13th, we're just going to transfer your sign up to the following week on the 19th. If for some reason that day of the 19th does not work for you, just let us know and we can take you off the list and include you next month. But in order to get our vendor COVID tested in time to attend and host this, we had to postpone that date a little bit, so I hope you all understand about that. But it should be a really fun event, so if you've not already signed up, we may very well have space left. There are 2 sessions, 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock on the 19th, and residents will get to sample 3 different wines at no cost. So if you're interested, please give us a call and we'll see if we can squeeze you in on the list. I just have a few more things, so bear with me. Regarding closed captioning on Channel 266, we've gotten a handful of requests and questions about what happened to the closed captioning on the movies that we play each night. And so I met with Mike Booten from the IT committee, as well as our representative from BCTV, and I have an update for you all regarding closed captioning. With our new system, if a DVD has closed captioning available on the DVD that we have in hand, the closed captioning moving forward will automatically play. If the DVD does not have a closed captioning option embedded in that DVD, it will not play. So probably most of our movies moving forward will have closed captioning, but please keep in mind that there may be some films here and there that do not. And as always, Coffee Chat and other various presentations and movies, DVDs that we create here will not have closed captioning. But if you have any questions about closed captioning, give me a call. I just wanted to give a brief overview on that for those that were asking. I also wanted to mention that we are going to be collecting DVDs. If you have any DVDs or even CDs that you would like to donate to us to play moving forward, please consider going through and picking some out that you're willing to offhand. And I am going to set up, beginning next week, a box outside of the TV studio, which is located off the A elevator on the 2nd floor. There will be a little box that you can drop any DVDs or CDs that you would like to donate, and then we'll go ahead and get those in the loop for our VCTV system. Let me see here. I also just want to highlight a couple of upcoming events that we have. Pinspiration next week, we will be making jack-o'-lantern door hangers. They are very cute. We have a local crafting company lead those classes. They are going to bring all of the supplies that are required. So all you have to do is sign up, show up, and the cost is $10. We can charge that right to your Cypress account, and that cost just covers your supplies, and you'll leave with a really cute DIY craft that you can keep in your own home, or you can even gift it to a family member. There's some really cute projects that we have planned for this month, so please consider participating if you're crafty, and even if you're not crafty, they make it very easy for those that are just willing and interested in working on a little project. And again, that will be next week, Thursday at 10:30 in Egret Hall, and you can call Tiffany if you are interested in signing up. Also, I just wanted to remind everyone that we are doing another to-go and a show this month. We do have a few spaces left for that. The theme this month is going to be French cuisine, and we're going to pair that with the movie Julie and Julia, which surrounds French cuisine as well. And Brian and Thomas have a really fabulous menu planned. So if you're interested, call us and sign up. The meals will be delivered on that day. I believe it's Friday, I'm sorry. And they'll be delivered between 5 and 5:20. The movie will begin at 5:30, and you're welcome to enjoy it on your own with your spouse, or you can even invite a friend or two over to enjoy it all together, and we can deliver all your meals to one place. So let us know if you're interested, and we'll be happy to get you on the list. And my last update is that we are still collecting plastic bags for a small group of residents that are creating sleeping mats for local homeless. So if you have or are willing to collect any of those plastic shopping bags that you get at Publix or Target or wherever it might be, please consider doing so. We have a little drop box here right outside Tiffany's office in the train lobby. You can drop them off at your convenience. The residents pick them up and work very hard on them. I actually heard a fun fact from one of the residents that completes those mats, and she said it takes 40 plastic bags to complete 2 rows of the sleeping mat. So if you can only imagine how many bags they have to collect in order to create just one sleeping mat, and what better way to recycle your plastic bags? So please consider collecting and donating those. And then the very last thing I have to say is that by now, you should have all received a little goodie in the form of a planter with some soil and hopefully growing flowers in your outside of your apartment or at your doorstep if you live in a house. And that is just a little goodie from us here at Cypress Village. It looks like this. The tag says, "Don't stop believing. Water me and watch me grow." So this is just a little something that we wanted to distribute to all the residents, hopefully brighten your day. If you've not already gotten it, you should get it before the end of the day. We have many volunteers from our staff who have done various streets in the neighborhood and floors in the towers, and so big thank you to all the team who helped us deliver these. But I hope you all are all enjoying this and that it brightened your day when you received it. And send me pictures as it starts to grow, and we'll post them. But with that being said, I hope you all are having a fabulous Friday and that you have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Good morning, Cypress Village residents. We're here in the newly remodeled Middletons, which we'll take a peek at in a minute. But first, I want to introduce Marissa. She's the registered dietitian in the healthcare center, along with Paige. She's our certified dietary manager in the healthcare center. These two ladies are going to take some time out of their day to talk about making informative decisions based on your specific dietary needs or preferences. So they're going to review today's menu, which we have in front of us. They're going to also touch on a couple items for next week. And again, I just want to take the time to thank these ladies for taking the time out of their busy day. They got about 115 residents they take care of, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. who all rely on them to make sure they're nutritionally sound and fed well. And again, I just want to thank Paige and Marissa for taking time out of their day to go over these menu items with you all, and also to help you make an informed decision on what you should be eating in the dining room.
Good morning. As Thomas mentioned, my name's Marissa. I'm the registered dietitian at the Healthcare Center.
And I'm Paige. I am the dietary manager.
We are going to review some of the offerings from Cypress Village's menu items and talk about specific diets that you may follow and special nutrition requests that you may have, and how to alter the menu kind of with your own knowledge base, how to kind of navigate the food choices here. So first, I think let's talk about a diabetic type diet. And really with any diet, what you're looking for is moderation overall. So just because you follow low sodium doesn't necessarily mean that every single item you ever eat has to be low sodium. Some items maybe could be a little bit higher in sodium, but you would watch what you were eating the rest of the day or at another meal perhaps. Same goes with diabetics. If you're a diabetic, are you really not going to have that piece of birthday cake on your birthday? So you take your time to splurge, you pick which items you want more than others, and maybe you don't eat a huge portion of pasta or rice and save some carbs left over for cake or a dessert. So with that being said, we'll look at a couple of these plates here. So I know these are today's offerings on the menu, and let me pull out my little notes. So they have the baked ziti. So looking at the baked ziti, the cheese, the pasta, those items, again, you can eat this if you're a diabetic, but you really just want to watch your portion size. So this would be a larger portion than I would recommend for a diabetic, but maybe supplementing with a side salad or some veggies to really get you fill, get that fiber that you need to help keep yourself full. Another item like the chicken is great. So the chicken has a smaller side of pasta, so you have some carbohydrates, because again, you really want consistency of your intake of carbs, not necessarily eliminating carbs altogether, but keeping that consistent level of carbohydrate when you eat so that your blood sugars remain stable. And then it's got a great side of zucchini. So a healthy item here with the teriyaki cooked on the flat top, so not fried, nothing like that, adding extra calories, fat to it, and then like I said, the pasta. And there's not a heavy sauce on the pasta, so it's really just a healthy overall plate here. Then again, we have the fish cake. So as a carbohydrate choice, these do have breadcrumbs in them, so that's something to look out for. So that would impact how your carbohydrate count for the day. Not as much as something like a pasta, but just being aware that there are carbohydrates in that item, and that could increase your carbohydrate intake for the day. So then again, this is paired with a rice and a vegetable, the roasted bok choy. So those are good items. The roasted bok choy is great. Again, you don't have to be afraid of having the rice when there's breadcrumbs in the fish cakes, because there shouldn't be too much flour in the fish cakes, but again, it's just kind of knowing where you are in your day. For example, if you ate pancakes for breakfast or had some toast oatmeal, a higher carbohydrate breakfast, for lunch or dinner, you may be looking to scale back a little, so that you would do maybe the fish cake and then just some veggies. So overall, like I said, with the diabetic type diet, realistically, your goals are having consistent amounts of carbohydrates at your meals, at your snacks, eating foods in moderation. You could always get that piece of dessert, that piece of cake, but maybe ask the server to get you a smaller piece. Or, hey, save the other portion for another time. That's a great tip when dining out anywhere. So the next topic I'm going to talk about is a gluten-free diet. Gluten-free, of course, some people have intolerances to gluten, some people have celiac disease, so it's very important to be able to know what ingredients are in your food so that you can avoid any flare-ups or any inflammation from celiac or your intolerance. So the best thing is reading the descriptions on the menu, because they do outline how the menu item is prepared. For example, next week, I was reviewing that menu, and for example, there's a beef burgundy, and the beef is coated in flour. That would be a food item that you would want to avoid because of the content, the flour content. So realistically, you're just kind of knowing your ingredients overall, and then that way you kind of know what to avoid. So pastas, unfortunately, are a no-go. For gluten-free, unless it's an alternative type pasta, such as a chickpea or something like that. And then anything breaded would be also something to avoid in that instance. A lot of foods can also be processed with the same equipment as gluten, so depending on the item, you may just want to ask your server, was this prepared with anything containing flour? So sometimes oats can be a dicey area because they're made with the same equipment at the manufacturer with food items that were made with wheat. So another item, typically your bread, unless it's gluten-free, pancakes, waffles, all those types of foods are things to watch out for on a gluten-free diet. In addition to kind of the obvious food choices, sometimes gluten can be hidden in foods like sauces. Anything used to thicken a sauce may have flour in it, made with the roux. Soups could even have flour included in them, especially your thicker soups like a broccoli cheddar. The words broccoli cheddar do not include anything flour that you might think there's not flour in there, but always good to ask if anything was thickened with flour or if any sauces do contain flour. So again, just the biggest takeaway is kind of the obvious food choices, the pastas, the breads, the cereals, etc. But then also asking whenever you're in doubt. Your server should have the information or should be able to get the information for you to make your informed choices about the best food options for you. Another safe alternative would be to ask for sauce on the side, and that's just another good tip in general, even if you're health conscious or weight conscious. That way you control how much sauce goes onto your food or onto your what you're eating.
And if you're looking for heart-healthy options, of course we have plenty here. One tip that can just apply to eating healthy in general is making half your plate fruits and vegetables, and we always have plenty of options, including the zucchini and the bok choy here. So if you have a plate just with all of the fresh fruits and vegetables available, you know that you've started with a really good foundation. And even though this chicken is made with soy sauce, it's just a light glaze, so everything in moderation. And of course, there's always room for some healthy carbs. Carbs give you energy, so this is a great plate here that would be good for both a heart-healthy diet or anyone looking to make a healthy choice while eating out in general. In general, when it comes to soup, they're going to have sodium. So if you'd like to enjoy a little bit of soup, you can go for that, but be careful and mindful for the rest of your intake for the rest of the day. Or you can just forego the soup and go for something like the Brussels sprouts and quinoa salad or some of the salad options. And if you order the dressing or a sauce on the side, you'll have more control over how much sodium you're adding to your meal.
So in conclusion, there's a variety of foods here at Cypress Village offered, both healthy and when you're looking for a fun treat for your meal. So the best advice I can give you is to just be aware of the ingredients, be aware of what's healthy for you, do your research on your specific diet, and know going into that dining setting, be mindful of your own choices and making the best choice for you. And again, our staff is here. We are here and available to answer any questions you might have about specific menu items. So if you need to know an ingredient, Thomas and the chefs are all available to answer those questions for you.
Well, it's a pleasure talking to you all today. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, we're here in Middletons. It looks a little bit different than last week. Last week it was covered in plastic and there was a big old hole in the ground over there. But just to give you a little walkthrough about how this will look once we reopen for phase 3, we'll start over here on the soup and salad bar. So we will have all of our plates, saucers, soup cups for the soups. As you can see, the soups are much lower than they previously were. They used to be on this tall soup well and you'd have to reach up. So now they'll be much more accessible to the residents, which would be nice. We have our salad bar, which is built in. It is nice and refrigerated. We have our sneeze guard, so nobody's allowed to sneeze. We'll have an armed guard here. No, I'm just kidding. But we'll have all of the salad ingredients, salad dressings, all inside of the counter here, all nice and chilled. And over here to the entree bar, we'll have these are the induction warmers for the food. We have our brand new chafing dishes, which are beautiful, nice and shiny. There's a window there so residents can see the food without having to open it and cooling it down. So we'll have one on each of these burners. Again, we won't have to use any sterno, so there'll be no open flame. There'll be no wasting money there. We'll actually save money. In about 2 years, we'll have made up twice the amount that it took to buy this stuff. Here we have our sneeze guards for the entree bar. There'll be 3 of these going all across the entrees. We have our hole cut here for our plate warmer. So the server, whenever they're giving you your food, it'll be on a nice hot plate. And then we're going to move over here to what will be the dessert section. All right, so this is where we're going to have our desserts. As you can see, we have our ice cream freezer here, which you may or may not know. We're going to switch the ice cream up the way we've done it in the past. We're going to do away with the scooping of the ice cream, that the residents had to go and scoop their own ice cream. It was a mess on a bunch of different levels. The water in the dipping tank would often be dirty or have people's hands in it, etc. So moving forward, we're going to start a nice, clean and safe ice cream approach. So we're going to have this freezer, which will be stocked with individual cups of ice cream. We'll have ice cream bars, ice cream cones, ice cream sandwiches, very similar to the ice cream selections that you might see in the Loon's Nest. So residents are welcome to take a item of ice cream that they'd like, a dessert as well from the dessert case, which I'll get into a little bit later. You can eat the ice cream here, you can take it home and eat it. One thing I do want to point out, and Laurel, you can zoom in on this, we do have a security camera located at the top of the wall up here, just past to this, there it is. So Nick is actually watching Laurel right now. So anywho, so we want to make sure that the ice cream is nice and secure. I'm sure everybody will just take one, and we'll have a lock on it as well at night, just in case any housekeepers or anybody else. No, I'm just kidding. Anthony's Bones team wouldn't do that. So along with the ice cream freezer here, we're going to have a countertop that will go to about right here. And on top of the countertop, it'll look exactly the same as the top for the soup salad bar. The granite is the word I'm looking for. So we'll have the dessert case, which will approximately be about this big. And it'll have 3 layers. We'll have the plated desserts, and the doors will close and open. So whenever you want to come and get your pie, you open the door, close it. In the middle here, we'll have our new coffee machine. Same coffee machine that's in the Loon's Nest, as well as the main lobby, with all those beautiful selections, espresso and mocha, all those good flavors. We'll have the cups for the coffee. We'll have tea, all the accompaniments for the tea, and all that good stuff. So this is going to be where the desserts go. So once this is completed, we'll do another walkthrough so you can see the final finished product. But very excited about this and can't wait to get it reopened again.
Oh, frothy.
All right, so we're here with our brand new coffee machines. I just want to give everybody a little tutorial on how to operate them, as well as what they offer, and then a few other tips about what to do whenever you come up to use machines. So first of all, we're going to have some hand sanitizer around these machines at all times, especially this one. Now when you're in the Loon's Nest, you're going to ask your server for whichever cup of coffee you'd like. But when you come to this one, if you haven't sanitized prior to using the machine, I always want you to sanitize your hands. If you have your own, bring your own, but we'll provide some as well. We're going to have the cups available here, but we ask that due to the guidelines of the phase 2 that we're under right now, we can't have bulk single serving condiments similar to the way we're not doing it in the dining room. So those will be available at the concierge. So if you need sugars, creamers, stirs, anything like that, before you get your coffee, you can go to the concierge, ask them, I'd like the 2 blue sugars and 1 creamer. And they'll give that to you, so you can then come here, grab your cup, and then get started with your coffee. So first step whenever you get your coffee is you want to have your cup. After you get your cup, you want to place it down. And I don't know if you can zoom in on this, but there are these little waves in the metal. So where I found the best success here is between the first and second little wave, where it starts to wave out, just slightly to the right. That's the optimal placement for your cup. Trust me, I've spilled a couple, so Ty doesn't like spilled coffee. So we're gonna make a Thai cappuccino here. So You'll have to touch the screen, give it a second, it'll come up. So you have your espresso drinks, chocolate drinks, French vanilla drinks, coffee and hot water. Now currently this one does not have decaffeinated coffee. The one in the Loon's Nest does. However, we have a container of decaffeinated coffee here. So I'm going to go for the cappuccino. So cappuccino is going to be found under the espresso drinks. And if I'm talking fast, it's because I had one of these already. So we have espresso, cafe americano, cappuccino, cafe latte, long espresso, con leche, flat white, and something else that just went away. Cortadito. Don't know what it is. Maybe try it and let me know. So we're going to go for the cappuccino. Now, once you hit what coffee you want from this screen, that's it. It's going to start coming out. So make sure you pick what you want. And if you accidentally hit something, at least the cup is there. So you can hear the beans grinding. These are fresh beans ground every time for every cup. It actually shoots out a little pod out of the back when we unlock it. And it has these tiny little pucks of the ground coffee that it, uses. So somebody asked if we were going to use that for compost, and I don't have an answer to that, but thought it was a good idea. So it's going to give you a percentage of how your drink's doing, 60%, 65%. One thing you do not want to do is remove the cup before it hits 100, because there's still little droplets coming out. It's going to be very hot at first because it's making it fresh every time. So the water's very hot, so one thing to be cautioned about. So we're at 95, 99, not gonna take it yet. It's still dripping. That last percentage is there. So enjoy your drink, 100% done. Gives me a little beep. Got my, what did I order? Cappuccino. And then, so now I'm gonna enjoy that. So a lot of these drinks, just to give you some feedback on it. So the French vanilla, a lot of these come sweetened. So if you get one of the French vanilla drinks, the French vanilla with milk, cafe vanilla, vanilla cocoa, those are already sweetened and do not necessarily require any additional sweetening unless you like it very, very, very sweet. Same thing with the chocolate drinks, the hot chocolate, chocolate with milk, cafe mocha, vanilla cocoa, all pretty sweet. Your coffee and hot water, black coffee, hot water, that's pretty self-explanatory. If you'd like a packet of tea, you can get the packet of tea, get your hot water from the coffee and hot water button, and then enjoy your tea. So it's pretty simple to use. Make sure your cup's there. Make sure once you hit that button, you're ready for that drink, and then wait till it hits 100, and then enjoy. Let me know what you think about it once you've had it, and I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this cappuccino. Cheers.
Because I can hear Claude. You're good. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Friday morning at the Loon's Nest. We're here to present the burger for next week. We have a chicken Caesar burger. So on the bottom, we have a Parmesan twill. So that's just Parmesan cheese melted in the oven to be nice and crispy. And then we have a handmade chicken patty. And on top of that, we have a little Caesar salad with some hearts of romaine, Caesar dressing, bacon, all topped on our Cusanos bun.
Before we get into birthdays, we have some good news to report. We do not have any current positive COVID cases in our community at this time. All of the employee cases have been recovered. We haven't had any new resident or employee cases to report. And things are looking very good for our community. So continue to be safe, wash your hands, wear your mask, social distance, and just be smart about where you're going if you are leaving the community. But on to some of our October birthdays. Today, we have two birthdays. We have Betty Colchetti. Happy birthday, Betty. As well as Sally Chappell. So happy birthday to both of you lovely ladies. On the 10th, we have a big birthday for Larry Lawson. He's going to be 103. But we also have Shirley Swinton to celebrate on the 10th as well. Then on the 13th, we have Natalie Risnick. 14th, Patsy Skeen. 16th, we have three birthdays, Urbano Acosta, George Bland, and Caroline Holder. So happy birthday to everyone, and I hope you have a great birthday week, or if you're like my family, birthday month. So everybody say hello to your friends, give them a call, tell them that you're thinking of them, and I hope you all have a very great weekend.
They got about 115 residents they take care of, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, who all rely on them to make sure they're nutritionally sound and fed well. So, take it away, ladies. They're not here. I'm looking at them like they're here.
I know. Take it away, ladies.
Go ahead.
Great.
I got a fan.
Aw.
She got this inside info now.
You know you're going to be on Coffee Chat now.
Machine, like, yes, the products are.
I
Wait.
wanna try.
It's not 100 yet.
Oh.
You're breaking rule number 3. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Oh my.
She's gonna get a ticket, and then I'm gonna get a phone call.